Hello, how are we? So, along with my story shack for my younger listeners, at night time I'm going to post up a little bedtime story as well. So we're going to do a chapter each night from my library for bedtime stories. So this one will be ever so slightly older than the babies' ones. So my story shack are the stories for up to 5 years, which a lot of that will be like teaching. But these ones are just fun books. So I'm going to be starting The World's Worst Teachers by David Walliams. So I'm going to read you a chapter a night. So you can come back and you can get a chapter each night. So if you've read World's Worst Teachers, it's very good. It's very good. And our first teacher in this is called Mr. Penceballs. Just checking I read that right. That's Mr. Penceballs. And he is a mathematics teacher at St. Aub's School. So I'm going to read this one to you. Once upon a time's table, there was a maths teacher named Mr. Pent. He certainly looked like a textbook maths teacher, with his wire-rimmed glasses, brown suit, and comb-over. However, Mr. Pent was anything but your average maths teacher. Oh no, he was one of the world's very worst teachers. That was because Mr. Pent's every waking moment was taken up with one dark obsession. Balls. He had a deep loathing of them, but where did this strange fixation with spherical objects come from? Our story begins when Mr. Pent was still a child. It's easy to forget that teachers were once children, but in most cases they were. Some babies you knew immediately were destined to be teachers because they were born with a teacherly scowl or disapproval on their face. So we've got here a normal baby, you see, and then the teacher baby, the scowl. As soon as he was put in his cot, baby Pent was counting the beads above his head. Soon he was writing complex mathematical equations on the wall with his alphabety spaghetti. It was then, when he was a toddler, he began giving his parents algebra homework that they knew for sure that little boy was destined to be a maths teacher. One day, when Mr. Pence was just 10 years old, he suffered a terrible accident. The boy was struck on the head by a ball. Not just any ball, a demolition ball. As balls go, this has to be one of the biggest and heaviest there is. After all, it is made of steel and swung from a crane to destroy buildings. Bish, bash, bosh. Being a child whose fate it was to become a maths teacher, it will not surprise you to learn that Master Pent had no time for toys or games or anything that might be considered fun. No, this mathematics-loving child filled his days with times tables, prime numbers, fractions, quadratic equations, trigonometry and, for most of us normal folk, the absolute dreaded long division. In some countries, long division is actually a form of torture. No, not long division, anything but long division, I confess. One rainy afternoon, Master Pent was on his way home from his school maths club. Maths club was the world's most boring after-school club. Master Pent was, in fact, the only member. Other strong contenders for the world's most boring after-school clubs are Punctuation Club, Standing in a Puddle Society, Basket Weaving for Beginners, Train Spotters Anonymous, Sitting in the Dark Society, Staring at a Blank Wall Club, Traffic Cone Appreciation Society, Latin, Latin, and Latin. In Maths Club, Master Pen had just been learning all about pi, also known as the symbol of pi, or 3.14. Pi is even more boring than it sounds, and it sounds cataclysmically boring. It is a mathematical constant, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. I confess I had to look that up as I spent all my time in maths daydreaming about cake. Are you asleep yet? If so, then good night. If not, read on. Now, reading on, because they're going to be little short bits each night, because it's quite a long chapter, this one. We're going to read the rest of our chapter tomorrow. In fact, looking how long it is, we might even read in 2 parts, because they're going to be nice little short 5-6 minute sections each night to get you off to sleep. So we will come back tomorrow to the rest of Mr. Penceballs. And sleep well. And if you're watching this, which you may be, you might be too young, but if you've got any older siblings, Isabel, it's your birthday. So happy birthday tomorrow. And I wish you all well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Night, night.